What's up, Legacy Leaders? Bob here. Happy Freedom Friday to you. And today we're going to be talking about the second type of Facebook group that I recommend for your business. And these are team building and training groups. So on Wednesday, we actually went over the first group, which is the product-focused prospecting group. Today we're going to be talking about team training and building. Now, I do realize that probably most of you already have some sort of a team Facebook group that you're either already running or that you are a part of. And the question is, should I start my own group? Should I just continue to be a part of the group that I'm in now? I did answer that question in the masterclass, but I'll give you a quick little summary here just to start this training out. I think there are a couple of different circumstances where you would consider breaking off and starting your own team training Facebook group. Here's the first one. If your team, well, first off, you don't have one, then obviously that goes without saying. But if your team is large enough, and some of you I know have larger teams, and if you have a larger team, and how I define larger team, if you could start your own team Facebook group and easily get several hundred people into that group in the first 30 days, that I believe that that's something that could be hugely beneficial for you to do. Here's why I feel that way. See, if run properly, and if you run these the way that I'm going to teach you over the next couple of weeks, your team training and team building group is really the grounds for you cultivating the leaders that are on your team, pushing your people into the spotlight, letting your people do training, giving your people recognition and testimonials. It's a great way to cultivate your team and the leaders on your team. The other scenario where I would say it would be a good idea is if for whatever reason the group that you are a part of, you do not agree with everything that's being taught in that group. Maybe they're teaching social media strategies that you just know are not right. You're, as a legacy leader, you're realizing there's a better way. That might be a scenario where you want to keep your team protected and you want to make sure they're getting the training that's going to serve them long term. But at the same time, I don't want you to create additional work for yourself if you don't have to. So if you have a smaller team, you're already the part of a group that's running efficiently, then just approach the leaders that are running that group and ask to be a bigger part of that group. Ask if you could do some training. Ask if you could be more of a visible leader inside of that group. But here's my big twist on team building and training groups. And here's where this might be a little mind-blowing for some of you because I have a much different philosophy. See, I believe that you do not need a totally separate group for your business prospects. I think that a more natural first step for a purely prospecting group is have it to be more product focused. I don't think you need a separate group just for your business prospects. Now, does that mean that if you have one already, you should just shut it down? No. I'm just telling you, if I was starting out today and I was building from scratch, this is what I would do. I would actually, right now I know this is going to be like crazy talk for some of you. I would be adding my interested business prospects to my team building and training Facebook group. I know, mind is blown. Some of you are like, I've never even thought about that. Our team group is for our team. Why would I want to add prospects? Well, I'm going to present my argument to you today. And now listen, at the end of the day, do what you want. It's your business. And if what you're doing is working really well for you, keep doing it. But if you're not seeing the results that you want, if your group is not growing, if it's kind of crickets every time you go in there, if your team isn't growing as quickly as you want, then I want you to be open that maybe there's some different strategies you could implement. Here's the reason why I feel the way I do. first and foremost, I think that, and Cheryl, the fact that, so let me just do a PSA here for a second. The fact that prospects are not allowed to access training is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard in my life. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. Because here's what you have to realize. There are two questions that every single prospect is going to ask, needs answered, before they move forward confidently wanting to build your business. Here's question one. How the heck do I do this? What is involved with me doing the business? That's question one. Here's the second question, and your A-player prospects especially want to know the answer to this question. What kind of people are doing this? Because if I join this team, if I join this business, I want to know if I bring my prospects into this community that I'm not going to be embarrassed and that I actually can feel confident that I could fit in here and that I'll be excited to introduce them to people. So if they have two questions, how do I do this and what kind of people are doing this? Geez, let me think. What do we have already that we're doing that we could expose them to that could answer those two questions? Well, geez, it's called our team Facebook group. Now, the fact that people want to keep this secret to me is I'll never understand it. See, in our business, this is pre Facebook being the way that it is now. We ran a Sunday night training call. And I'm going to actually next week, I'm going to teach you how to run a weekly Facebook Live team training in your group that is absolutely going to explode your organization. This will be one of the best decisions you've ever made in your team. We're going to talk about that next week, okay? But here's the thing. We used to run a Sunday night training call every Sunday at 8 o'clock. And that call I was the one that would run it each week. Now, that didn't mean that I did the training each week, but I was responsible for picking the trainers, for picking testimonials. But we knew that everyone on the team was taught that if you talk to a prospect during the week and they are interested, you promote that Sunday night call like it is the best thing we've ever done. And not only do all the prospects get on, but all of our team members get on because they need constant inspiration and training and support. But we ran that sucker every week, and it was the number one way we used to close business into our team. Because think about it. When a prospect gets into an environment, if you run it the right way, see, I do acknowledge, if you're going to open your team training group up to prospects, you're going to have to do some things differently, right? You're going to have to filter some of the comments and posts that come in. You're going to have to create different type of posts. You're going to have to be more mindful of that. But I'm telling you, this is one of the most powerful tools you can have. And we used to have prospects that would get on that call and they would be blown away. They would get on the call and they would hear people checking in from hundreds of people from all over the country. They would hear these testimonials and this training. They'd be inspired. They'd be like, man, I want to be in this environment. See, because here's the thing. People may join because of a company or a product, but they stick around because of the people. They stick around because of the community. They stick around because the culture is one that can help them grow. And that's what your Facebook group is. A very well-run Facebook group creates a culture and a community of inspiration, of support, and of personal growth and development. So having said all that, let's just entertain for a second that you are going to test this out. Now, here's what I recommend doing. Like, if this is so different than anything you've ever done before, don't all of a sudden just open it up to your whole team and be like, we're going to put our prospects in. Here's what I recommend you do. Put some of your prospects in. Just do some tests. Take a couple of your prospects and say, hey, look, I'm going to add you. Let me go through some things that need to happen first. The prospect needs to know they're going to be added to the group, number one. I believe that they should already have seen some sort of a third-party tool. Now, I know that some people teach you add them to the group to see the third-party tool. I'm fine with that. To me, it's tomato, whatever. I prefer to give them the tool first, and then if they're interested, then I say, look, we've got this community, this exclusive group. I want to add you to the group for a couple of days because I want you to be able to see really what we're about. This amazing community that we have. These incredible people. I want you to hear the stories of the people having success. I want you to see the level of training and support that we have. The system that this team has is incredible. I want you to be able to see this and experience it. Here, add them to the group. You give them a couple of days, and then you schedule a follow-up with them, right? And that follow-up is scheduled to say, hey, listen, are you ready to make a decision at this point, right? Now, here's the thing, though, is we have to approach the group a little bit differently. First thing we need to do, we need to make sure our group is set up with strict guidelines and rules and etiquette. No negativity, no complaining. You need to set that group up so that every single post must be approved by an admin. And what that means is if you post something now think about it, you're on the team. If you're posting something that's negative or complaining, it's not going to get approved in the group. Listen, there are a lot of stuff we don't even approve in the legacy group because it doesn't fit our guidelines and procedures. Now, if somebody posts something that's like not up to we reach out to them, say, hey, just want to let you know, here are the guidelines and rules. Make sure you follow that, right? And so you have to start filtering out. You have to start, and it's not just you, by the way. There should be a couple of admins. But everybody should know that, look, we're going to have prospects in here. So we need to act and behave a certain way. We need to play team together. We need to know we're all here to interact, to share, to close each other's business, right? So you weed out some of the negativity and all those, just the crap. And you have to start creating content that is much more high value and relevant. Now, you're probably already doing your business specific training. I've got some really good ideas for stuff that you can do, and that I'm going to be sharing with you here over the next week. But here's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about what could make this group really incredibly valuable. Well, not just creating business specific training. See, you got to add an additional layer. Just like when on Wednesday, I gave you the number one reason why people's VIP customer groups suck, quite frankly, like crickets, nobody's involved, because you're not giving them a reason to be involved. You're only posting sales and promotions. Well, I said you need to be creating generic, valuable content that is related to the overall concept. If you're in a beauty business, you got to create stuff that's not about your products, that's high value, educational beauty tips. Well, same thing here. Now, this is not the place for you to post about your products, but I want you creating some high value personal development, personal growth training. I want you going live in that group and not just teaching them how to do the business. I want you to teach them how to become a better version of themselves. You need to be going live in that group at least once per week. If you're not going live in your Facebook group, you should just shut down the group, quite frankly. Because live video inside a group, giving people exclusive content, just like I'm doing here right now with you, is the single most powerful tool that you have in your arsenal to build a relationship, to inspire your team, to let prospects see what this is really about. You're going to have prospects that are going to come into your group and they're going to see the level of support that you give. They're going to hear that inspiring training. They're going to be like, man, I want more of this. I love this. I love hearing these stories. I love the positivity. I love this focus on not just becoming a better business person, but becoming a better person. You know, I want you to integrate what you're learning here with legacy leadership, impact driven, purpose driven. I want you to create a vision and a mission for your team that is a part of everything that you do. And I'm telling you, when prospects see behind the curtains, when they see how to do it, and because look, let's be real. If you're afraid to add them to the group because they're going to see something that might cause them to not want to do it, like you realize that they're going to join and be in the group anyway, right? So they're going to see it at some point anyway, and it just because they signed up doesn't mean crap. They're still going to see it and not want to do it anyway. Signing up means nothing. So why not start running the group more intentionally, start exposing people. See, the very thing that you think is going to be a negative is going to be your best positive. I'm telling you, the number one reason why people used to tell me they joined is they heard the training, they saw the community, and they wanted to be a part of it. Now, some of the questions that I've gotten, well, what if, how do we know how, what if if we forget to follow up and they get stuck in the group? Who cares? Like, you should have such a problem that you have a bunch of prospects that are in your group getting exposed to your training, your support, your information. Like, there are worse problems for you to have. The other thing is this. You really have to make sure you teach people the right way to do this. Now, you have to make sure that people don't add prospects to the group without them knowing first. Some people are going to try to take the easy way out and just add people to the group. That's not the way that you do it. That is spammy. I hate when people do that to me. Just add me to groups without asking me. To me, it automatically is like, that's a person that I would not want to do business with. So you have to teach people. So I'm sharing this with you because I believe that if after some testing of you with your own prospects, of starting to look at your group and cultivate it and say, okay, so what type of stuff would we do? How would we do what we do differently if we had prospects in here, and then putting some of your prospects in, if you realize, wow, this is something we need to do, I recommend you do an entire team training, teaching people what I'm teaching you right now, why we're doing this first and foremost, how we're going to do it, what is the right way to add people to this group, how should we be following up, make sure we set a specific follow-up time with them, what is the right language. But I'm just telling you that what I'm introducing you to here right now could be one of the most important decisions you ever make in your business when it comes to building a better community, growing your team faster, giving your team, think about it, giving your team more confidence to know if they can just get through the first part of the prospecting, playing the video and get someone that's interested, the group can become the crutch. Because they know if they can just get someone into the group, that the group can do the work for them. Because it's so well run, it's such a powerful community, and I'm telling you. So, look, my job is to stretch you, is to push you. My job is to challenge you in areas to help you be better, to teach you to think differently, because sometimes, let's be honest, we get stuck in our ways. And I think legacy leadership, one of our 10 golden rules is we are innovators, and we do challenge the norm. We don't just do something because that's the way it's always been done. We're always asking ourselves, is there a better way? See, technology is evolving. I would not have told you this a year ago, quite frankly. I wouldn't have been so adamant about what I'm telling you right now a year ago. But the reason why I am so adamant about what I'm telling you today is because Facebook is changing. Social media is evolving. It is becoming harder and harder for us to get our messages in front of our prospects. And Facebook is making a seismic shift in the way of groups. They are pushing people to join communities. They are making it easier as owners of groups to make the experience engaging and exciting for people. And I just think if you're not going all in right now, building a community in a group, that you're missing out on a big opportunity. So that's the reason why I believe in groups. And like I said, I'm going to teach you. We're going to do it next Monday. I'm going to teach you how to run a weekly training, Facebook Live training in your group for your entire team and all your prospects. This is like the new version of what I've taught before to some of my students that is going to be so incredibly powerful for you motivating your team, inspiring them, closing more consultants and representatives into your business. We're going to break down how to do these weekly team trainings on Monday. And then on Wednesday of next week, I'm going to teach you how to run challenges, not only in your product group, but I'm going to teach you how to run challenges in your team group, just like you and I did with the prospecting challenge that we got done. And my goal here is in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we have the Instagram masterclass coming in March, but over the next 2 or 3 weeks, I am going to literally give you the blueprint and the game plan to help you start crushing Facebook groups and truly master these in your business. So that's my message today. I know some of you are in shock. I'm going to let that sink in over the weekend. But Monday, we are rolling into this team training Facebook Live. I'm going to give you a phenomenal training. And then once again, just a reminder, everything I've been teaching you, I literally have my notes here. These are the slides right out of the Facebook group's masterclass training that's in the membership area right now for you to go check out. So that's my message for today. Love all of you. Appreciate you. Grateful to take this journey with you. A lot of amazing things coming up very soon. So thank you all for being legacy leaders. Have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you soon. Take care.